What's up? Episode 8, I think. Can never remember the exact number. I am at the Blue Hills Reservation in, I think, Milton, Massachusetts. It's pretty sweet. As you can see, there's a beach over here. There's some people swimming. So, I'm still reading this book, Story of the Human Body, and man, it's so interesting because he's telling our story, essentially. Um, you know, my story, your story, every human story, and it all started from climate change, which is something that I had no idea about. Basically, what happened was apes and chimpanzees and gorillas and stuff, they all lived in Africa, in rainforests. And when the Earth started cooling down, like 6 million years ago, and when that happened, the rainforest started shrinking, and fruit, which is the main food for apes and gorillas and chimpanzees, fruit was less available, so they had to turn to fallback foods, which are secondary foods, less preferred foods than their main foods. And because fruit was their main food, and fallback foods was like stems, leaves, seeds, nuts, stuff like that. And also, when the food supply went down, it was harder to find food, so they had to travel farther. And bipedalism, which means walking on 2 feet, it allowed them to travel farther, although they had to travel slower, because having 4 feet, obviously, or 4 legs, obviously, you can travel a lot faster, you can gallop. But with 2 feet, you preserve energy, so you can walk for longer, you can travel longer distances. And since the food was more, dispersed, they had to travel longer distances. So they kind of adapted to walking on 2 feet. And it also gave them, hands. They could use their hands while they were walking to carry, more food. It's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet stuff. There's a last common ancestor that they currently don't know of because they haven't found any fossils. The last common ancestor between humans and apes. But after the last common ancestor, that's when the hominids begin. And the hominids are basically, it's a type of ape that includes, humans and Neanderthals and Australopiths, which is one of the earlier kind of hominid. And slowly we just went from looking like apes with brains that were only slightly bigger, and kind of walking, having to tilt back and forth as we walked, using more energy and climbing trees and stuff. And slowly we transformed into being able to walk on 2 feet really easily, using our hands, using our bigger brains. We developed bigger brains, and slowly we developed into what we are now. And as we started, getting smarter, we started to develop things like tools and language, and we kind of invented culture, in a sense. Human beings kind of invented culture, which is really cool. And he actually says that biological evolution was one of the main form of evolution back in the day. But nowadays, at least for humans, it's cultural evolution, the way we live. And he says that 2 of the biggest events in history that started to shape cultural evolution was the agricultural revolution and the industrial revolution. Those are the two big ones that really impacted cultural evolution. So really interesting stuff. I spent a lot of time reading this book today, so I figured I would just talk about it today. And yeah, it's really interesting, and I'm going to continue reading it because I really like it. Although I am starting to wait next week, or be a bar back servicer type of thing at a few restaurants. So I'm going to be much busier, not going to have as much time to read. But I'm still excited. I'm excited to start making some more money. Money's always good. It always opens some doors. And give you one last look at where I am. Just chilling with this rock here. It's actually very secluded. I feel very isolated right now. But yeah, so I'm actually on my way to the mall after this because I need some shoes for the wedding I'm going to, which is my mother's wedding. And my friend Ellie flies in tomorrow, so I'm really excited about that. I'm excited to see her, and gonna pick her up, and she's attending the wedding. And gotta get some black shoes for my gray suit. Hopefully they look good. I don't know. I guess we'll see. I'll probably vlog with the suit on at some point, because why not, right? Alright, peace.